So this is part one of an 8-part mini-series I'm going to do, which is going to fully expose the Abu Dhabi FIX. This part concerns the F1TV narrative. The future parts are going to be as follows. Part 2 will be the Sky Sports F1 narrative. 3, the Michael Massey FIA race director human error. 4, Mercedes valid post-race appeal to the FIA stewards. 5, the media conditioning. 6, the FIA inaction in the week post-race. Number 7, the further media conditioning. And number 8, the FIA review / result confirmation. So, when we watch sport, we see what is going on. The sports broadcaster shows us what is going on. So, for example, 2 weeks ago, the England versus Australia Ashes test up at Old Trafford in Manchester was rained off. So what did they show us on the TV? They showed us it was raining. They showed us that it was not possible to play sport because of the conditions. So these are the sorts of things that we see on the television. This is the sort of thing we will see if a ski race has been cancelled due to fog, due to the conditions not enabling sport to be carried out. So it is quite simple. When it comes to Formula One, what do we need to see? We need to see the crash site. We need to see the state of the clear-up operation to determine when it is possible for sport to resume, because sport isn't taking place whilst the race is neutralised. We do get to see this picture here of the car being removed from track. This is on lap 55 of 58. Okay, note on the tracker view insert on the bottom right hand side of the screen, Lewis Hamilton is coming up to turn 12. So it cuts away just before the safety car passes this point in time. That almost seems like a planned diversion, so you do not really pick up on how far round lap 55 is that the cars are when this removal operation is still taking place. The only other footage that they show us is this. Lap 56, as the safety car train is passing turn 14 and marshals are still on track, just departing the track. That's the only other time they show us what is going on at turn 14. And that is almost by mistake. I'm going to run you through the implications of the marshal being on track and them departing the track at this moment in time on lap 56. And then I'm going to run you through what F1 TV showed the world during that entire safety car period. So here goes with this one. Okay, this is the exact moment the last marshal is departing the track at turn 14 at Abu Dhabi. You can see the man in the orange overalls is just jumping over the Armco right now. So the cars that you can see, the blue car at the front here is Ocon. Then you've got Leclerc, then Vettel, and then it's Max Verstappen. Then you've got the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo, you've got Lance Stroll, and then behind Stroll, you can barely see, but it's the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz in third place. So we're going to watch this through on tracker view. Sainz in the Ferrari is the red dot at turn 14. Behind him is Valtteri Bottas, and the white dot is Mick Schumacher, followed by the two AlphaTauris. Now, Mick Schumacher is the last remaining competitor. He has been lapped. Now, it is mandatory that he unlaps. So, knowing that the final marshal has just departed the track at this moment in time, what has to happen is the clerk of the course has to declare the track safe, which he will have to do an inspection He will have to satisfy himself that it is fully safe before he hands over to Michael Massey, and then Michael Massey can do the unlapping procedure. Okay? However, let's say that the clerk of the course has been monitoring everything and was just waiting for that last marshal to depart so that he can give that order immediately. This is what would happen. Now I'm going to hit play and I'm going to speak as if I am the clerk of the course. I want you to keep your eye on Lewis Hamilton's car, which is the dot at the front, and see what, because this is the end of lap 56. See where he is once I give the command. So here we go. We know this is the exact moment in time that final marshal has departed. So I am the clerk of the course. Okay, Michael, the track is now safe. You can now unlap the cars. Thank you. Okay, cars, you may now unlap. So, Massey may have got that order in. Have the cars started to unlap? Where is Mick Schumacher now? He has no chance whatsoever of making it past the leader and making it past that safety car until those cars are on lap 57. Because lap 57 is the earliest opportunity that those cars unlap, lap 58 is that mandatory safety car lap. There are no alternatives. It's not up for discussion. This is not one of those videos where I ask you for your opinion in the comment section. This is binary. This is factual information. The earliest that those lapped cars would pass the leader and the safety car would be on lap 57. Hence, lap 58 is a mandatory safety car lap. Abu Dhabi had to be a safety car finish. So you've just seen the true implications of what had to happen in Abu Dhabi, but on the lead up to it, you saw something completely different. So here we go. I have to do it this way because I can't play through the footage, otherwise it gets blocked on YouTube through copyright. So I have to use this footage and do it this way. These are the radio messages that F1TV selected and played to the global audience during those last 5 laps of Abu Dhabi. Note the position of Lewis Hamilton's car having just come round turn 5. There is always a delay. This message took place a lot earlier in the lap. They've selected it to play to the audience. By selecting certain messages, it creates a narrative. It gets you to believe certain things. It gets your mind thinking about certain things. This is the first message that they played.
I can't box.
Negative.
Right.
So Martin Brundle then tells the viewing audience the implications of that.
If there is a restart, Verstappen now has fresh soft tyres. Lewis has heavily used hard compound tyres.
So already that sets up the jeopardy. There's no mention of the fact that these incidents normally take on average 5.5 laps to actually work their way through in order for racing to resume, and there's less than that remaining, so it's highly likely there's going to be a safety car finish. Instead, the build-up is there straight away as to what it is possible for us to expect to see. The next message from F1TV is going to be as follows. Note they are now still on lap 54 on the way towards turn 9.
That's unbelievable.
Wow.
So look, we're on lap.
So again, Lewis explaining that he's not happy.
54 of 58 here. They've got to clear that debris away, and the fire extinguishers have obviously gone off because the brakes, I'm sure, were getting very, very hot. But they've also got...
They're now on lap 55. Here's the next message.
Interfering in play.
What's the situation behind me?
So, situation is, Verstappen has pitted. He had a free pit stop. We would have lost track position to him. 4 laps remaining when you cross the line. So this field has to bunch, and then they have to send lap cars through. So it may...
4 laps remaining when you cross the line. So this message clearly took place before they actually started lap 55. And it's being played around this period in time. So it happened before this checkered flag that you see me waving my cursor across. They've chosen to play it, and you're hearing it now when the cars are at this position around the track.
Not restart.
Is he right behind me?
He will be once they've sorted out all the order. This is going to take a while to sort out.
There might be one.
With new tyres.
Copy, Lewis. We would have lost track position if we had pitted.
And that...
So that's what they've played to the world. Look how Sky Sports then pick up on that.
was the big key here. Mercedes, for the second time, keeping Lewis Hamilton out, whilst Max Verstappen pitted. Red Bull had nothing to lose. Hamilton potentially losing track position, and in this case, if we don't go racing again because you can't overtake under the safety car, he would have lost the World Championship.
So Crofty says, had he have pitted and lost track position, if we don't go racing again, he would have lost the World Championship. A rather strange way of articulating the fact that if we don't go racing again, Lewis Hamilton is the world champion. Okay, still on lap 55. Now at turn 11. Let's see what they've got to say.
The safety car's not going full gas down the straight.
Copy, Lewis, understood.
His tyres are cooling. He needs more pace, more heat into those tyres.
This is awful for Lewis then, with those hard compact and heavily used tyres.
So Lewis is complaining that the safety car is not going full gas. What that means is he feels the safety car is going slower than it should be on purpose to make sure it is holding things up enough to ensure there's a racing finish, rather than carry out the lap at the normal standard safety car speed. How Sky Sports then twist it is that, oh, this is a problem for Lewis because of the temperature of his tyres. Lewis is complaining that the safety car is dragging its heels to drag this out to ensure a final racing lap. And Sky Sports twist it to think that it's about tyre impact. Lewis Hamilton just crossing the line, now starting the crucial lap 56. So the footage they're giving us is of the Red Bull pit when Perez is retiring. Note the position of the leaders as they're coming round turn 5 on lap 56. This is what F1TV play the world.
Checo, we need to retire the car. We need to retire the car. Box.
And for the
really? Yeah, box.
And lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake.
It's not mandatory.
So we got the diversion of the Perez retirement. We then get the announcement of lapped cars not being allowed to overtake. The reason why lapped cars cannot overtake is because there are still marshals working at turn 14, clearing debris off the track. That is evidenced as the cars go by turn 14. So the fact that they're not being released at this point in time is perfectly normal. And if they can't be released by the time we get down here to turn 9, it determines it's going to be a safety car finish. Whilst this isn't from F1TV, listen to what Crofty says.
The lapped cars won't be allowed to overtake, which means that there are plenty of cars in between Hamilton and Verstappen for Verstappen to fight his way through.
It does not mean that at all. It is not possible to resume racing with lapped cars left in place. Categorically not, which I prove in the video that I will leave in the thumbnail at the end of this video. So, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that if lapped cars cannot be released, it's not safe to release them. And if it's not safe to release them, it's not yet safe to resume racing. That's all it means. Crofty then further says,
That I suppose is the compromise that race control have made here. by giving the best possible chance for racing to the finish rather than finishing behind the safety car, they've decided the lap cars will stay where they are.
And now we get the radio message interjected by F1TV. This radio transmission took place between turn 5 and turn 6, down this straight that you see at the top of the screen.
Cancel that. Lap cars will not be allowed to overtake.
Yeah, of course. Typical decision.
It's classic.
I'm not surprised.
This gives the narrative of Red Bull being hard done by. And Crofty will then say the following. Note, Lewis Hamilton is coming by the Latifi incident. There are still marshals on track.
Look, I'll try and look at this objectively. We should get one lap of racing here. If we allowed the lap cars to overtake, we'd have no laps of racing to the checkered flag. So what do Red Bull want? And Max,
because lapped cars can't be released, and they now will not be, it's not possible to release them prior to lap 57. Lap 58 will be that mandatory safety car lap. It will be a safety car finish. There are no alternatives.
So what do Red Bull want? And Max Verstappen and Gianpiero Lambiase as race engineer, do they want the chance, or do they want to finish behind the safety car with no overtaking? Because I think that is the decision that has come from race control. And personally, this is the decision that gives them the best chance if they want it.
Yeah.
And Brundle then sets it up. We are now on lap 57.
Because I think the safety car will come in at the end of this lap, and there will be one racing lap.
And then we get the interjected message chosen by F1TV.
They'll all get blue flags, I would imagine.
Christian and Michael.
Yes, go ahead, Christian.
Yeah, why aren't we getting these lap cars out of the way?
Just give me, well, because Christian, just give me a second. Okay, my big one is to get this incident clear.
You only need one racing lap.
So, you only need one racing lap. Look at the narrative, look at the story you're being fed, look at what is being created. And now Brundle.
Indeed, is the safety car coming in this lap? We think it should do, could do. Is there any more debris to clear up? But we're halfway round already.
Race control are now saying lapped cars to overtake the safety car. So Norris and Alonso and Ocon and Leclerc and Vettel to
and it's
overtake
ending.
it.
And it's ending. Wow.
Mate.
Wow. And F1, as if by sticking two fingers up to Toto Wolff, play us this message.
Good.
So there's confusion, but the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. So
there's confusion. Where has that confusion originated from? Because if F1 TV show us the camera that is pointing at the track at turn 14, show all global fans of the sport the state of that clear-up operation, show us when the track is finally clear and so that it's safe to go racing, we can then all see for ourselves whether or not it is possible, in accordance with the rules of the sport, for that race to resume. We never got that. What we got was a contrivance of footage and interjected radio messages chosen to specifically present a narrative and convince people of something that they were conditioning people was likely to take place. So once again, you'll see I can't use their footage, otherwise they'll ban it on copyright. So I have to use stills. Watch this one through. Lap 56 was the crucial lap of Abu Dhabi, which would determine whether or not there could be any more racing. The track would have had to have been cleared by the time these cars got approximately halfway around the track. Then the race director could have given the order for the lapped cars to unlap, and in that remaining half of lap 56, those lapped cars could have all had the time to make it past the lead car and the safety car. Then, had they have done so prior to commencement of lap 57 could have been the mandatory safety car lap, enabling lap 58 to be a racing lap. So, the key information, the key thing that all viewers of the sport need to see is the incident at turn 14 all going to be clear and so that the track is safe before these cars get halfway around lap 56? And this is what F1TV show us. They show us, first of all, this bit of footage. Then they cut to the Red Bull pit and show us a Red Bull retiring. Now it was Perez. Was this to add in confusion and that jeopardy? Oh, is this Verstappen retiring? Then they give us a close-up of that. This goes on for quite some time. Picture of the rear of the car. Cut to the Mercedes garage. Back on track, coming down between turns 5 and 6. As you can see now, it still says lap 56 of 58, and we have the banner, lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. The reason that lapped cars are not being allowed to overtake is because the track is not safe. This is the first time in the history of Formula 1 you will have seen this banner, because you will not see this banner. This banner has been manufactured, created. When you see a safety car incident unfold normally, you don't get this notification. All that you get is when it is safe, then you see the order for those lapped cars to unlap. This command of lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake. It's not an authentic command. We see them coming round turn 6 and turn 7. We then ride with Lewis Hamilton on the straight down towards turn 9. This is having just come round turn 9, where we see this. It cuts to Max Verstappen having just come round turn 9, where his interjected radio message is played over and above his in-car camera. It cuts to the Red Bull pit. They pan round to show us the emotion of those in the Red Bull pit area and Max's girlfriend. And finally, they come by turn 14 on lap 56, and we see here above the safety car lights, we see the marshals still on track at turn 14. So that proves that there were marshals on track all the way around that lap. That notification you saw saying lapped cars will not be allowed to overtake, there's a reason, because the clear-up operation was still taking place. It was not possible to release those lapped cars halfway around that lap, and it is only going to be possible to release those lapped cars very shortly. So rather than show the viewer clearly what was happening on track, whether it was going to be possible, and show them clearly the state of play of that track, and show the viewer whether it was going to be possible for the lapped cars to be released in time in order to resume racing, they did not show us that section of the track at all through that crucial lap. Not at all. The TV narrative. They could have easily shown us what was possible. They could have easily shown us that it wasn't safe for sport to be carried out at that moment in time. Instead, they didn't show us. They didn't show us the key information. They showed us clips cutting from here to there, to here, to there, interjecting, keeping people guessing, setting up a narrative. That was not in accordance with the rules of Formula One. That was created by F1TV. That was supplemented by Sky Sports F1, the commentary team of David Croft and Martin Brundle, lying about the rules of the sport and supplementing the information given by F1TV to create the narrative to convince viewers that it was likely they were going to see this last lap of racing. It was all lies. It was all not in conjunction with the rules of the sport. That will be evidenced in part 2. Michael Massey broke the rules of the sport. Michael Massey is the FIA race director. 3 separate parties: F1TV, Sky Sports F1, the FIA. All of them contributing, all of them presenting this fixed fake outcome before it even took place. 3 separate parties conspiring to produce that outcome to make it look convincing to the world. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is an out and out conspiracy. When the interests of those parties converge, they worked together to manufacture the fix. Check out part 2 when it's published. Thanks for your time.